Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a sort of video prediction. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on how I think The Walking Dead Season 5 is going to end, or some finale predictions. All right, and also this will sort of, qualify as my part 12 leading up to the second half of The Walking Dead, Season 5, when it returns, of course, February. So not long off now, less than a month till the return of the series. Let's see, we've got 1 Sunday, 2 Sundays, 3 Sundays. So 3 Sundays, and then the next Sunday will be the premiere episode of The Walking Dead. Season 5, Episode 9, second half. Really excited for it, of course. Also saw the trailer for Better Call Saul. Don't know if you guys got a chance to see that. Don't know if I should do like a review or reaction to it. I might, because it looks really, really funny. If you guys haven't seen it, it's in AMC's channel, so check out AMC's YouTube channel and watch the trailer for Better Call Saul. Those of you who like Breaking Bad. Because it looks like it's going to be really, really good. So really excited for both the series. I think they're airing the same night, pretty sure. But I think Better Call Saul's got like 2 episodes back to back, so it should be a lot of fun getting that started. And I hope that show lasts a really long time. It's already confirmed for a second season. So other than that, not too much else going on with me with regards to the channel. Covered most of the topics I had for leading up to the second half, so I don't have too many more for you guys aside from doing Q&As. I still would like to do one every day, but as you could see yesterday, it's very hard because I don't want to put out just crap. Like I don't want to just put out stuff that has no value, but at the same time I want to try to get something out every day, and I don't want a repeat of stuff that I've done in the past. So that's why it's pretty damn hard to continue with putting out new content all the time when there's just not much coming out about The Walking Dead. Little stuff here and there, but I've covered so many things over the years, top 5s, top 10s. It's pretty tough to come up with new stuff all the time. That's it, topic for this video, and we may do some Q&A questions afterwards depending on time, because I don't like my videos to go on for too long. So this was a common one I got in the Q&As, and that people asking me how I think that Season 5 is actually going to end, like the actual finale of the episode. And I have done predictions on them in the past before, but I want to change them because I predicted for the most part that I thought the 5th season was going to end with the events in this trade, which is basically, this isn't too spoilery, but the new community that Rick's group joins, the Survivors joins, basically gets run through by a zombie herd, pretty much. So you have a huge amount of zombies that come through. They knock the gates down, and it's like a herd. Like if you remember Season 3 or Season 4, the 3rd episode, when Daryl and the others were in the car and they had to abandon ship, so to speak, and get the hell out of there because there was just that many zombies, if you guys remember, and while the tire was spinning on bodies, right? If you guys remember that one, it'd be something similar to that, like in terms of the size, but it actually goes straight through and like breaks the gate down and then gets inside, and then everybody has to go into their houses, and it's pretty sweet. Yeah, it would be a really, really exciting finale if they were to go that route. But with the new pacing of the show and the way they kind of translate the Walking Dead books to the TV series and add in a bunch of other stuff. To me, it almost seems like we probably won't see that until next season. We may see the start of it, but it seems to me more likely that we'll probably see the season wrap up with the scavengers, as I've done the video recently letting you guys know who they are, and that these are them right here. These guys. Yeah, so that's from Trade 13, Too Far Gone. So I'm thinking that's where they're going to end the season is with that group. But I'm assuming they're going to do a new interpretation of the group. They're probably going to add to it. They're probably going to do some new things with it. Similar to how they did, I want to say, Joe's group. If you guys remember Joe's group from the TV series, a lot more. Now, granted, we didn't have too much time with them, but in the comic book series, it's just like, some groups just pop up and then they're gone, like just out of nowhere, they just come up and then that's it, they're done, right? So in the TV series, they've done a great job of kind of giving these groups a little bit more than just, one episode, one shot, boom, and they're gone. Sometimes they do that with like Dave and Tony in the bar, for example, where they just kind of came in and then they were gone almost right away. But, with most of the characters, most of the survivors we see nowadays, especially, especially with groups that are based on comic book, characters, usually they get more time than that, right? So that's what I'm thinking we're going to see. And with regards to the Negan stuff, everybody, this is a question I get a lot, is when I think Negan's, when he's going to show up, that kind of thing, because he's such a big character in the series. I think a lot of people have actually been jumping the gun on that one too, and I don't think he's going to be coming anytime soon. I think it's going to be a really, really long time. Like this one here, this is a question from Daniel Laveaux, and he says, do you think they could bring in the Whisperers, Leatherfaces before they bring in Negan as the next big villain? I think it could be a way to throw people off guard and maybe tie into Morgan with what he said about dead or people, or people wearing dead people's faces. Now that one is, there's been quite a few articles online that I've seen about that, people linking them to me and that kind of thing. I forget which site it was, but one of them says something about like has the next villain already been foreshadowed or set up or something like that. And that's so far ahead of the comic book series and where we're at in terms of comic book series timing that it's crazy when you think about it. So in terms of the rest of this season, I really don't think we're going to see that much in the way of the Saviors or Negan or any of these other groups that we see way later on. I don't think they want to veer off course that much and bring in characters or villains way out of order, from the original comic book series. So that's kind of where I think it's going to end. I think it's going to end with the Scavengers. Probably have a couple big character deaths near the end of the season. But I'm thinking that's what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see the Herd come through, as the finale. It would be an awesome finale if we did, and I would love to see that. But I think that there's so much else that they're going to bring us, and so much that they're going to elaborate on and extend, that we're probably not even going to be there. And at that kind of pacing, to be honest with you, Negan probably wouldn't even show up until like season. It could even be season 8, season 9. It depends. It depends how they want to stretch it, how they want to use it, and change the comic book series, because they could go for a while, without bringing him in, really. They could go up to season 8, 9, even 10, depending on how much. Because if you guys like what they did with the Beth stuff, where they added on, gave her a lot of episodes and a lot of time, if they continue to do stuff like that with other characters, because we do have a lot of characters in the the TV series that either don't exist in the comic book series or are different interpretations, or characters that are still alive that weren't in the comic book series, they could definitely do a lot with it and really, really stretch it out quite a bit. So I think we're going to see, about half of that. Maybe not an extreme in terms of stretching, but, I don't think we're going to blow through content that fast. So I wanted to address that question from him, because that kind of ties into how I think the season's going to end, and my prediction that we're going to see it end with another group of villains, but it's going to be pretty quick. It's not going to be like a huge thing, maybe a couple episodes, that type of thing. But mostly I think the second half is going to be them on the road, them kind of looking for a place and finding a place, and then getting to know the people that are there, versus getting to see all these other characters. I think we're just jumping the gun a bit as a community, really, and people online with blogs and that, writing articles and that kind of stuff. Getting a little ahead of ourselves, because really, in terms of timing, it could be a while for sure. So I'll go through like a couple more questions, but I won't make it too long for this one. The next one's from Danish Man. He says, unlike the comic books, the governor didn't chop off Rick's hand. Do you think that Rick will now lose part of his arm in season 5B? In the promo, you've got the zombie who's holding him, and it looks like it's ready to bite. What do you think? Well, this is the same question as it's always been with doing the hand thing or the arm thing. Is if they do that, then they're going to run into the issue where they have to either cover it up all the time, like they did with Merle, they have to CG it, or they just have to do something like that. And because Rick is like your main lead, he's in like every episode. Unless they cover it with something, it would be really, really hard to do that. Especially, think if they cut his arm here, what would they do to kind of cover that, and make it look right? Because if they did it there, you would probably wear something to about here, but not to out there if it was cut here. You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be, that's the difference between the comic book series and the TV series. In comic books, you just draw it in, you do whatever you want, right? But in a live action, you have to consider the difficulty of what it would be, and also the fact that in the past I've read that Kirkman actually regrets doing that, actually having Rick lose his hand. So I tend to think that I don't think we're going to see that, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't think we will, because I think it would raise too many problems. It'd be too hard for them to deal with all the time, having to cover up his arm or his hand or something. Don't you think? I don't know. That's just the way I see it, but it's up to we'll see what they decide to do. I mean, they could do it, but would they want to? Because it'd be a lot of work. So I tend to think they probably wouldn't. So I'll do like 2 more. Next one's from Salman Abbas, and he says, what will Rick's reaction be when he sees Morgan? Do you think he'll be happy? Do you think he's going to hug him, handshake, show him Judith, or will he be scared, considering what kind of state he was in last time they met? Great question, man. Yeah, I think he would be happy, because he knows how strong Morgan is, and he's like the only other person out there, one of the only other people, if you count Morales too, that Rick hasn't really seen for a really long time, and wouldn't even know if Morgan's still alive. So I think he'd be happy to see him, but he'd also be perplexed and probably wouldn't be able to believe it. And at the same time, he'd probably be mixed emotions, because like you said, he knew when he left in Clear that Morgan was not in his right frame of mind. Morgan tried to kill him, and really would have, with that knife stab. But that knife stab probably would have killed him, to tell you the truth. But anyway, but yeah, I think he'll have like a mixture, like mixed emotions with all that, because he'll be happy because he's his friend, but also he knows he's crazy, and then at the same time he'll be like, am I seeing things? Because we know Rick's had some trouble with seeing things in the past. May forget that by now, but yeah, he has post-traumatic stress. So there you go. Another question from Salman. He says, who do you think Rick cares most about aside from Carl and Judith? So aside from Carl and Judith, who does Rick care most for in the series? That's a really, really good question, because Herschel's obviously not there still. Lori and the others, Shane and everybody else, Dale and the rest are gone. But in terms of who's surviving right now, who does he care most for? I'd probably go with like maybe Glenn, maybe Michonne, Daryl, those types of characters. That's what I would say. Maybe Michonne, because he spent a lot of time after Too Far Gone. Maybe not a lot of time, but after Too Far Gone, he spent a bit of time with Michonne, and her relationship with Carl is good in that. So I'd probably go with that. But I'm sure he cares about everybody in the group. It's just that, the most, probably Michonne, I would say, for some reason, or Glenn maybe, or, there's a lot of characters in the group, Maggie and the others, and so I'm going to cut it here for this one, because I do have a few other questions, but I don't want to go on for too long with regards to the videos. My Q&A ones sometimes go way too long, and it's not my intention. So anyway, check out the Better Call Saul trailer if you guys haven't seen it. There was also the Walking Dead trail on the AMC channel, which is kind of like survivors surviving together, that type of thing. So check that out too if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you guys think about this one, how you think Season 5 is going to end. How far do you think it's going to go into the comic book storyline, if you've read the comic book series, and just what your thoughts are on that. A new issue of The Walking Dead comes out Wednesday, so definitely have the review posted for that same day or next day for you guys. Really look forward to The Walking Dead comic book series. I always love to read it. Almost as much as seeing TV. Well, basically as much, just that each issue we don't get as much content as a TV episode. So that's kind of why I look forward to the TV episodes so much, is because you get so much content versus the one issue of the comic book series. But still, I love them both for sure. So let me know what you guys think about all of that. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it, please favorite it. And yep, that's it for this one. If you guys have any other questions, send them to me for future Q&As. If you have any video suggestions, also send them to me, because I need them right now. I don't really have too many. And that's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. As always, it's Trev saying peace.